Welcome to the Unshakable Transmission series. I love these series so much. And today we are going to be talking about infinite love. Over the last few years, I've really been connecting with the energy, the frequency of infinite love. And my whole life, I was chasing something outside of me. I was chasing wealth. I was chasing success. I was chasing achievement. I was chasing the perfect life. And I got all of it. I got the partner. I got the dream life. I got the success. I got the wealth. And when I received all of it, it still didn't feel like enough. And so I kept chasing and chasing. And what I realized through all of this, feeling like a hamster on a hamster wheel, and maybe you are in your life chasing, trying to find something outside of you. What I realized through all of this is that I was never chasing success, chasing wealth like I thought I was. I was chasing infinite love. And the crazy thing about this is that what I was chasing was always inside of myself. And many of my clients before working with me, they're past versions of me, they're always chasing. It doesn't feel like enough. Okay, they have this goal, and they keep chasing and chasing. And nothing will ever feel like enough until you have rewired your nervous system to a baseline of safety, to a baseline of love, to unlocking the frequency of abundance. When the frequency of abundance is unlocked inside of you, this is all the work that I do, you feel enough. You feel safe. You feel loved. It's not a mental concept or ideology. It's a feeling in your body. And my work is not about teaching mindset. It's about helping you return back to the truth in your body. The truth in your body is that you are worthy. You are infinitely loved. You are safe no matter what. There is nothing, no one, no place that brings you what you can feel and access inside of yourself when you do the deep nervous system work. This is all the work that I do. And so when the nervous system feels safe, love flows. It's energy across all of your body. And when love flows, when you're operating from that foundation of abundance, everything else in your life meets you there. The money, the relationships, the fulfillment. And so I want you to ask yourself, what are you chasing outside of you? What do you think it's going to bring you? I'm going to drink some water to stay in my body. And a lot of times we're not honest with ourselves. There is a big difference between ego desires and heart desire. Ego desire says, I'll feel enough, or I'll feel happy, or I'll feel X when I'm successful, when I have this, when I am being seen, when, there is a desire attached to something in order to make you whole. Your heart, which is infinite love, says, I already am enough. Everything else is an extension of me. So there's two different energies here. And what shows up in my clients is a lot of the energy of, I need to achieve X to feel enough, to feel love, to feel safe. And so then it always feels like this constant hamster on a hamster wheel, this rat race. For my own personal journey, for so long I built success from proving. But when you're deeply connected in with your heart, when you are connected with the energy of infinite love, you don't need to prove. It just expresses. It's energy that just beams outside of your body, and everything in your life meets you right there. And so really the work, guys, is rewiring, healing the nervous system so you're operating from that foundation of infinite love. When you are connected to infinite love, which is inside of you, you no longer feel like a hamster on a hamster wheel, constantly chasing, constantly seeking, searching for something outside of you to give you this feeling of like, that feeling is and has always been inside of you. And so when you rewire and heal your nervous system and connect and create that baseline, that foundation, this is all the work that I specialize in, money becomes neutral. Relationships become healing and nourishing rather than performative and mass. I recorded an Instagram live yesterday on mass. and you feel fulfilled, you feel peace. That's your baseline. That doesn't mean life's always easy, but your baseline is peace. And so you need to ask yourself where you are operating from your ego versus your heart. And for many people, they do not operate from their heart because they have a deep fear of being seen. I know for myself, for a long time, I had a deep fear of being seen. But the fear of being seen is not about others. It's about you not fully seeing yourself. You not feeling like visibility is safe. Because one, your body doesn't feel safe. And then two, you're constantly being drawn and ruled and fueled by your ego. When you're in ego, it's constantly urgent. It's constantly anxious. The body tightens. When the body is in contraction, like this, you're not able to receive. Imagine walking around like this. You can't receive a hug. When you're deeply connected to infinite love, to your heart's desires, you feel grounded. You feel a level of rootedness and peace. And from there, the body softens. It's not contracting. It's open. The ego will always have a story attached to it, like I need to do X, Y, Z to get X. And the heart just has a feeling of I'm enough, I feel peace. And from that energy, that dictates or fuels the action. But the action is not tied to I need to do this, like the ego. I'm going to drink some more water here. Hello, we are talking about infinite love today. Feel free to drop any questions here. And ego and heart's desires and fear of being seen. And so when you're operating in your ego, you have a deep fear of being seen. Not only are you blocking yourself from abundance and repelling it, but you're not able to connect with the infinite abundance that's available to you, part of this universe, part of this world that you are in. And so you need to get honest with yourself on why you keep acting from your ego, what you are scared of. Many ego desires come from, like I mentioned earlier, the lack or fear of not being enough. And it really has stories attached to it, like I need to prove, I should be further along, I need XYZ to feel worthy, to feel a certain way. And all of this, the ego desires, creates tension. It creates comparison. It creates chasing. You're energy is going outward and you're blocking yourself from receiving. Your true heart's desires comes from truth, peace, expansion. It's different energy. It sounds like, I deeply desire to serve. Like me coming on live every day on Instagram. I love it. Hello, Amelia. We're talking about ego desires and heart's desires and fear of being seen. And so your heart's desires comes from a true place of a foundation of peace, of expansion. And it sounds like, I desire to serve or I desire to create because this is in my heart. This is what wants to come through and fully expressed. There's a big difference between the ego and the heart desire. The ego is I need to be seen so I'm loved, or I need to be seen so that people accept me. Whereas the heart desire is I desire to be seen because the wisdom and medicine I have inside of me. They're completely different energies. The ego desire creates tension, stays in scarcity and lack. It's all based on performative masks. And for many people, it's very, very unconscious. This was me for many, many years. And heart's desires comes from magnetism, trust, and flow. When you're operating in infinite love, connected to your heart, there is no scarcity. Scarcity was learned. It's an illusion. It does not exist. Our true essence is infinite love. And the reason many, many people cannot get to it is because there's energetic imprints living in their nervous system that says it's not safe who they are. They need to be good. They need to be impressive. Don't be too much. You're less than. And so the nervous system has linked being seen, this visibility that can trigger a survival response. So what this looks like is maybe some of my clients are building businesses and they have a deep fear of being seen because when they show up in their truth from their heart, their body contracts because when they were younger, they didn't feel fully accepted for who they are. And so the root of being seen really came from childhood. Your nervous system learned and adapted a way for you to be. And when your body is in a contraction state, it's hard to fully express. It's hard to have a heart open. If your heart's not open, if you're not connected into your heart, you're just operating in scarcity, in a mask. And that just creates more of this performance. And also, the fear of being seen also comes down to not truly seeing yourself. So if you are someone that's navigated or are navigating a fear of being seen, don't focus on the external or outside people. Focus on yourself. What aspects of yourself have you not fully seen? You know, for my whole life, I wore a mask. I was the achiever. I had everything put together, all of that. And there was a time that I felt terrified to be truly seen. And it wasn't because I didn't want to fully express myself or show up authentically, but it was literally because my nervous system equated being seen, visible, with rejection. Every single one of us has navigated a fear of abandonment, fear of rejection. And so it really comes down to you not fully seeing yourself. There is a collective wound that people have a fear of being the real selves because they think they're going to be rejected. They think it's going to be messy, emotional, uncertain, and that they're going to lose love. They're going to lose abundance. You can't lose something that's inside of you. Infinite love is in every cell of our body. And so wherever you're joining from, maybe the beginning, maybe in the middle, everything that you've been chasing your whole life has always been inside of you. And that was a really, really hard pill for me to swallow. I'm dehydrated this morning. And you only can access that, what's inside of you, when you have done the nervous system work, when you have somatically gone into the body and released the shame, the guilt, the fear. You have infinite love over here, and then you have shame, fear, and guilt. And for many people, the shame, fear, and guilt like clouds the infinite love. The infinite love is like here, and the shame, fear, and guilt is like clouding it. So it's hard to access it. But when you are connected to the energy of infinite love, it doesn't matter what you do. Your energy, your essence attracts, magnetizes everything. You're no longer in the energy of chasing. You're in the energy of receiving. And by the way, receivership is our natural state. It's always been our natural state. So please share any questions you might have. I'm going to see what else wants to come through. And maybe if you're still here, you can place your hand on your heart and just connect with this infinite love energy. You know, with infinite love, it's inside all of us. It's who we are. There's nothing you need to do to access it. All you need to do is receive it. And like I mentioned a moment ago, receivership is our natural state, just like how abundance is our natural state. But we have been so conditioned to believe that we need to earn, we need to do, we need to achieve to be worthy of something to receive. And so what I want to offer you to reflect on, you can maybe place your hand on your heart and take a breath. So much joy. Life becomes so easy when you just let yourself be who you are. But want to put your hand on your heart and reflect, what part of you fears being seen? And as a result of that, what does your ego push you to do? And what does your heart actually want? I'm going to pause and let you reflect on that for a moment. I'll say for my own personal experience, my whole life I was the achiever, the perfect one, the one who had it all. And my heart just wanted to be myself. My heart wanted to live a life from my heart, the sensitive side. And for a long time I felt, oh no, if I'm myself, I'm going to put myself in a box. I'm going to be the healer. I'm going to be the coach. I'm going to be this and that and that. And so I didn't let myself really be seen, show up for who I truly am. And I created all these narratives, these mental concepts of, well, no, it's not safe to be who I am because then people are only going to see me this way and that way and that way. But people really see you based on how you see yourself. Your self-concept determines everything in life. So when you have a fear of being seen, it's not about other people. It's about you not fully seeing yourself and you thinking that people are going to see you how you see yourself. So you could just shift how you see yourself. And if you fully trusted, like your truth, what would you share today? You know, there's been so many raw moments and episodes on these Instagram Live Unshakable series. I speak about shame that I've had a lot of my life. I speak about wearing masks. I speak about different things. And when you follow and speak and express from your truth, you allow energy to flow through you. And you allow yourself to connect back to the infinite love. You allow yourself to connect with your heart's desires versus ego. Hello, we're talking about ego desires, heart's desires, and fear of being seen. And so the goal isn't to kill your ego. The goal is to rewire your nervous system so that your heart can lead. Your heart is the gateway to abundance. Your heart is the gateway to infinite love. Your heart is the gateway to dissolving scarcity. But for 99% of the population, they do not feel safe living life from their heart. They do not feel safe following their heart. They do not feel safe listening to all of it. And so they stay stuck in shame, fear, and guilt. Hello, Jordan, Nicole, Amelia, if you guys have any questions. And so the more safety that you have in your body, the more that you are going to be able to follow your heart and be who you truly are. And when you are who you truly are, you magnetize all your desires. It's not outside of you. Everything in your life meets you right where you are when you are following your heart, your desires. And so I want you to really connect and reflect on, like I mentioned earlier, what part of you fears being seen. Maybe put it in the chat. Send me a DM if you're watching the replay. And as a result of that, how does your ego fuel you versus what your heart wants? So maybe I'll use myself as an example. The part of me that feared being seen was the sensitive side, was the one who is literally psychic and intuitive, and I didn't really let people see that side of me because I didn't want to be called crazy. I thought some of it was crazy, the visions I get. And I come from like a business, normal background, but what even is normal in this world anyways? And so I had a huge fear of being seen, like people thinking I'm crazy, my sensitive side, my psychic abilities, my intuition. And so my ego was like, okay, wear a mask, like be business or be put together. But that's never what my heart wanted. That's why I burned down my whole life. That's why I walked away from the perfect partner, perfect life, dream apartment, 7-figure career, all of it, because it wasn't true to me. And I got to a point where I thought to myself, if I trusted my truth fully, what would I do? And then I burned down my whole life. Obviously, it took a while getting there. I did a lot of somatic work, a lot of energy shifting, nervous system, because the patterns that live inside of us, it's not a mental concept or ideology. It's energy living in the body that fuels this narrative, this mental story of I'm not enough, something's wrong with me, I need to prove, I should be further along, I need to do X, Y, Z. And that just pushes you further away from your heart. That is infinite. Love is infinite. It's not scarce. Love is a frequency. It's an energy. There's love right here. But for many people, they're chasing love in the form of success, wealth, partner, dream life, money, etc., something outside of them, because they don't feel that love and safety inside of them. And for many, many people, they are settling in their lives very, very badly. It's really disheartening to see, because people don't have the courage to choose themselves. They have tied their worth to something outside of them. And the reason I know this is because I did this my whole life. People say, wow, you are so brave, you are so courageous that you walked away from everything. Like, how did you do this? Why? And I said, I chose myself. I'm unavailable to live a life that isn't, fully my own. I don't want to wake up on my deathbed. I'm just turning my laptop. I don't want to wake up on my deathbed and be like, wow, I lived a life for someone else. I didn't have the courage to walk away from the people, place, thing because I thought people would judge me, or I thought, I wouldn't get better. There's so many people in the collective right now that are going through a massive identity shift collapse in terms of they're not sure about the relationship, they're not sure about the business and the direction, they're not sure about the city. So I posted some of that on my Instagram, I think a week ago, if you want to check out the post. But really, what keeps you away from infinite love is the root that was developed in childhood. The fear that developed early, conditioning that made you think something was wrong with you, and that created an energetic imprint in the nervous system that you are not loved for who you truly are. And then that created behavioral patterns where you started chasing, you started proving, you started being the hyper-independent one, the one who's perfect. And when you're wearing a mask, I talked a lot about this yesterday in the series, but when you're wearing a mask, your desires can't find you. It can't find you. So you're just repelling abundance. You're blocking yourself from receiving. And energy doesn't lie. People feel energy before you speak. So you really have to ask yourself if you fully trusted your own truth, because everyone's truth is different. What would you say? What would you do today? Maybe more important, what would you no longer do? What would you no longer have in your life? Let's see what else wants to be shared. When you're connected to infinite love, there's no narratives around shame, fear, and guilt. The only thing that exists is truth. And truth exists inside of you, inside of your body. Truth is you being deeply connected in with your heart, connected in with the energy of infinite love. There's nothing you need to do to receive it. All you need to do is actually undo. Receivership is our natural state. And so for many people, myself, this was me for a long, long time, the desire to be seen and accepted and loved for who you truly are, yet the paradox of feeling terrified and hiding behind a mask of perfection or control. Maybe there will be a separate episode on control. And so really get honest with yourself and ask yourself what aspects and parts of yourself are you not allowing the world to see, and how is that fueling your ego? How is that keeping you further away from your heart? When you are in your heart connected, it's infinite love. It is infinite love. Your desires are magnetized to you. Hello, I see more people have joined. If you want to share any comments or anything that's coming through on your heart. And so I'm going to drink some water here. And so really start to become aware and ask yourself, where are you operating from ego versus your heart? And the more safety you have in your body and your nervous system, the more that you will operate from your heart. Infinite love is not something you chase. It's not something you get. It's not something you need to prove to receive, because receivership is your natural state. It is something that lives inside of you. It is something you always have access to. It is your natural state. It is who you are at your essence. There is nothing or no one that could ever take away the infinite love that is inside of you. Many people are not embodied in infinite love because of the shame, the fear, the guilt. They constantly think that it's outside of them. This is why you receive everything and it never feels like enough. And so really get honest with yourself on how you are responsible and perpetuating a cycle of you not being connected to this energy of infinite love. You being ruled by your ego. You not feeling safe to be who you truly are. Because it's not really about, well, it's not at all about how other people see you. It's about how you see yourself. If you deem that you accept all aspects of you, then other people will as well. But for many people, they're operating from childhood wounding. that it's not safe to share your truth. It's not safe to live a life from your heart. It's not safe to be who you truly are. And then your body contracts. I don't know where all of you guys started listening to this episode, but in the beginning I speak about when you're connected into your ego, not only are you disconnected from infinite love, which actually is the gateway to abundance, the portal you receive, but your body contracts. You have pressure right now in the field. I don't know exactly who's joined, but I feel pressure on the shoulders. So let me drink some water here. Sometimes when people join, I give free energy readings. It's not in detail. That's what I reserve for paid clients, but let me just tune into the energy field right here and share with you. I feel a lot of pressure on the shoulders, like holding it all. You need to do it all yourself. You are not worthy of support. Hello, Jay. We're talking about ego and infinite love, desires. And so what I feel in the energy field, I don't know all else who's on here, but I feel pressure in the shoulders. So if you're listening right now, this reading is for you. This idea, this story that you need to do everything yourself. You are alone. You're not worthy of receiving support. And it's actually creating this wall that doesn't allow yourself to receive. When you are carrying it all on your own, your shoulders, the energy is pushing you down. It's like this, contracting. You're repelling abundance. You're repelling your ability to receive. You're reaffirming to your nervous system that you are not worthy of support, that you don't deserve it, you need to do everything alone, etc. Let's see what else is wanting to come through for this group here. I'm getting overactive energy on the masculine side. So maybe it's more outward energy and not receiving. So ask yourself let me have a sip of water. Ask yourself, where are you telling yourself you need to do everything alone and you're not worthy of support? And where is it playing out in your life, the overactive masculine energy? I think I did an episode on masculine and feminine. I'm trying to think which one that was. I think a few days ago. But when you do not have safety in the body, and safety is, it's not just like level one. There's different levels to safety in the body. But when you don't have safety in the body and the energetic imprints in your nervous system are still, beaming out like it's not safe to be who you are, you need to hold it all alone. Not only are you going to feel really intense pressure right here, I feel it like right here, but you also are going to be over-rotated in the masculine energy of doing. Think of it like you wearing a backpack hiking up a mountain. If you're wearing a backpack hiking up a mountain, carrying it all alone, you're going to be exhausted. You're trying to force and go, and you're going to collapse. So really connect in with your heart and just ask your heart what it would feel like or be like to receive support. Maybe the first step is a compliment. It doesn't need to be this grandiose thing. But we are not meant to do life alone, at all. What else do I want to share that's coming through? Let's see. All the answers are inside of you. It's nothing outside of you that you need to chase, that you need to do. Life is always going to meet you exactly where you've met yourself. This is not about fixing. Nothing's wrong with you. Nothing needs to be fixed. You simply need to allow yourself to receive. And for many people, if we were the ones that, were perfect or the achiever, this or that, then there can be an imprint that was created in the nervous system that it's not safe to receive because you were the one always doing everything. So the ego will continuously fuel that story of it's not safe, you're not worthy, you need to do X, Y, Z to receive. The heart says, I am infinite love. That doesn't mean you don't need to take any action. You do need to take aligned action, but it's a different energy. And so receiving becomes safe when you regulate the body first. If you have any questions, feel free to share. I'm going to just see in my heart what else wants to be shared. Yeah, I think that's all that wants to be shared. I am someone that listens to my heart. I don't need to overspeak from the mental mind. So if you are still here, you can go ahead and place your hand on your heart. We will close out together. I'm intentionally not going to summarize because you will receive the codes, the wisdom that was meant for you and your heart. And it doesn't need to come from my mental mind. So go ahead and place your hand on your heart and just take a deep breath in. Exhale. Another deep breath in. Exhale. One last deep breath in. Exhale. And just notice how you're feeling in this moment, how your body feels. I sense in this group here, there's a lot of energy, a lot of tension in the shoulders, a lot. I don't say that from judgment. I don't say that to make you feel any sort of way. I share that to bring awareness and for you to connect back with the wisdom of your body. So just for a moment, connect in with your heart and notice what your heart is whispering to you. What is this energy that's on your shoulders, on your neck? If you fully trusted your truth, if you fully were connected to infinite love, which is inside of you, there's nothing you need to do to receive it. It just is. What would you do today? What would you share? Maybe more importantly, what would you no longer do? Okay. We're going to take a moment in silence so you can connect in with your heart and notice what it's whispering to you before we close out. Amazing. Thank you all for being here. This will be available on podcast and YouTube, and wherever you're listening, send me a message, comment, share what's on your heart. I want to hear from you, and I love you, all of you. Thank you for being here.